Like most boys, Cameron, 15, and Caden, 8, like hanging out with friends and family and fighting epic video game battles. But unlike most boys, these brothers waged a battle from birth against an incurable disease that almost took their lives.
I knew there was something that definitely was not right with Cameron. And he had an excruciating abdominal pain that wouldn't go away. As a mom of a young baby that is constantly crying and in pain, my heart broke.
Initial tests revealed nothing conclusive, so Corrine and Darren Sturts were sent home with instructions to monitor Cameron's diet and blood sugar levels.
I was constantly asking, what is wrong? What is wrong? And they couldn't tell me.
I think the biggest frustration for me was the fact that I couldn't do anything as a dad.
Months and then years passed, and Cameron's intermittent symptoms worsened.
The doctors had no explanation of why he would get up and vomit and he couldn't walk, he couldn't move. My continual prayers to God about my son was for answers. I was always asking for answers.
In 2007, when Cameron was 5.5, the Sturtses, who also had 2 daughters, welcomed home his baby brother Caden. Pediatrician Dr. Neeru Agarwal followed both boys from their births.
He started having same episodes, but worse than his brother.
I had thought, oh no. I felt like crushed, like now what?
Daily life for the couple swung wildly from moments of normalcy to grave sickness. Because doctors suspected hypoglycemia, the boys endured treatments of high doses of cornstarch and blood sugar monitoring 24 hours a day.
Mom was excellent. She spent so many nights not sleeping at all with her. She was checking their blood sugar levels.
So we would still pray and believe. My faith, sometimes it would waver, and then the Lord would remind me, He has the answer. The Lord brought me to Luke chapter 18 about the persistent widow. So she didn't give up day or night. He just kept on telling me, persevere for an answer.
As the years went by, Cameron and Caden only got worse. One harrowing episode left Caden near death. His blood sugar plummeted to 30 and he lost consciousness. He was rushed to the emergency room and slowly revived, but then he had to endure more painful blood draws.
And I just laid my head on him and I said, you can scream and you can cry, because I know it's gonna hurt, but just don't move.
After years with no definitive diagnosis, Corrine insisted that Caden and Cameron be seen by a pediatric geneticist.
Genetics did an extensive workup. It came out with a very rare genetic disorder, glycogen storage disease. I was telling the family, you have to pick up the complications leading to the death of the kids.
Complications like complete liver and organ failure.
I was beside myself. I didn't know if I was going to lose my kids. I didn't know what limitations they would have.
Because the health of both boys was rapidly deteriorating, they were admitted to a research program at the University of Florida. After more exhaustive testing, Corrine and Darren were told that within a few years, Cameron and Caden, who was now no longer eating and had a feeding tube, would likely die from the disease.
Helplessness. There was nothing I could do.
All I knew is pray. I had the faith to believe that the Lord was going to do something, but I was afraid to ask for Him to heal my boys. The fear is because what I believed was if I asked Him to heal them, that He would take them from me. And I couldn't think of life without them.
It was during their darkest hour that Darren says he had a breakthrough in prayer.
The Lord gave me that scripture of Genesis 22:2, when the Lord asked Abraham to give Isaac as a sacrifice. Then I went back to my wife and I told her, I said, we got to give the boys. We got to give the boys to the Lord. He wants the boys.
Not long after, in January 2014, 11 years after their ordeal began, the family attended a special revival service at their church. That's where Corrine received the same message from the Lord as Darren.
The Lord just took me to a place of complete surrender. He said, I want everything. Just give it to me. And I said, okay, Lord, if you take them, I will praise you. And if you heal them, I will praise you. And he said, now that I have control, go get them because I'm going to heal them.
And we go up to the altar. And we get up to the altar. I just see my one oldest daughter laying hands on my boys. And then I hear my son telling me, Dad, I felt the disease leave my body.
I felt free. I felt like I could run again. I felt like I could do anything. And all the chains were just broken off of me.
I felt the disease leave my body also. I could run all over the place and I could eat sugar. It felt like a small piece of heaven.
1 week later, medical tests confirmed what the family already knew.
But we had all their blood draws, and all their blood was normal.
Cameron never received another treatment. As a precaution, Caden was removed from treatment slowly.
I mean, the kids are completely back to normal. It is a miracle that the kids are so sick and overnight or in few days, the kids are perfect.
We laid our boys there at the altar. We gave them back to the Lord. And look what he did, is that our God is a healer. He is a miracle worker.
I would be dead right now if he did not heal, because he healed me and my brother.
Trust in God, believe in God, and don't give up.